Welcome to our channel, Cendric Math Chat. Number 1. Let's find the sum of 1 and 2 ninths and 2 and 5 ninths. So, looking at this problem, our 2 ninths and 5 ninths, we have like fractions. So always remember, 1 and 2 ninths can also be expressed as 1 plus 2 ninths plus 2 plus 5 ninths. So what we can do is go straight. We don't need to convert them into improper fractions. Just go straight and add our whole numbers and add your fractions. So our sum would be 3 and 7 ninths. Example number 2. We have 7 and 5 sixths plus 3 and 3 fifths. So as I mentioned earlier, we don't need to convert our mixed numbers into improper fractions in order for us to find their sum. So we have 7 and 5 sixths. The unit here is sixths. The unit over here is fifths. So we have unlike fractions. So we need to make their denominators the same before we can add them. However, we can also rewrite this first as 7 plus 3 plus 5 sixths plus 3 fifths. You can go ahead when adding your fractions and subtracting fractions. You can go back and visit one of our lessons that's all about addition and subtraction of fractions. We talked about one of the shortcuts and explained the concept behind the shortcut. So what you can do is go ahead and multiply 5 and 5, 3 and 6, 5 and 6, which will give us 43, and this can be expressed as 1 and 13 all over 30, because we all know that 43 30ths is the same thing as 30 over 30 plus 13 all over 30. And then we can add our whole numbers here. So we have 10 plus the whole number, which will give us 11 and 13 all over 30. Let me quickly go back to our addition of unlike fractions. Why does this method work? So let's take a look at 5 sixths plus 3 fifths. So remember again, we need to make their denominators the same. And if I multiply this, rename 5 sixths by multiplying it by 1 in the form of 5 fifths. Same thing with 3 fifths. Rename this by multiplying it by 6 sixths. So I get 25 all over 30 plus 18 all over 30, which would still be similar to that. It will be subtraction of mixed numbers. So we have 10 minus 3 and 1/6. Looking at this example, I need to take away 3 and 1/6 from this whole number. So I can rewrite 10 in a way that I'm gonna end up with a fraction piece. So this could be written as 9 and 6/6. Why 6/6? Because we are referring to sixths here. 6/6 is the same thing as 1 plus 9, which is 10 minus 3 and 1/6. I can now work with my whole numbers. 9 minus 3 will give me 6. 6/6 minus 1/6 will give me 5/6. Next example, let's have this, our example number 4. 24 and 2/7 minus 8 and 5/7. We are lucky in this problem because we have like fractions, 7s and 7s. However, 5/7 take away from 2/7 will give us negative. Will give us a negative number, and we don't want to get in there yet. Okay, so again, we don't need to convert this into improper fractions before we can find their difference. So what we can do is similar to problem number 3. Let's rename and regroup our 24. So in terms of 7s, to do this, I can rewrite 24ths as 23rds and 7/7 plus 2/7 minus 8 and 5/7. It's 23rds and 9/7 minus 8 and 5/7. 23 minus 8 will give me 15. 9 minus 5 is 4/7. So this is our difference. Last, this problem is a little bit problematic because we have unlike fractions. Their denominators are different. So when combining, when we say adding or subtracting fractions, you need to have common denominators. You need to be working with fractions of the same denominators, the same unit. So let's rewrite this. So we have 10 and 2/5 minus 4 and 3/4. So what I'm going to do is to multiply this by 4/4 because we're referring to fourths here, and multiply this also by 5/5. So always remember this 5/5 is equivalent to 1. Same thing with 4/4, which is also equivalent to 1. So we're gonna have 10 and 8/20 minus 4 and 15 20th. Looking at this, we don't have enough 20ths in here. We only have 8, and we need to take away 15. So what we need to do is to regroup our 10. So I can rewrite this as 9, 20 over 20 plus 8 over 20 minus 4 and 15 over 20. This would then be 9 and 28 all over 20 minus 4 and 15 over 20. Subtract our whole numbers. So 9 and 4, our fractions. We're gonna have 9 and 13 all over 20 as our difference.